49er mind is
It's not just a thought process, but a way of life.
49er mind. 49er mind.
Can't shake it. It's 49er mind that I got. It's 49er shine that I got. My psyche's on another Frisco Super Bowl. Don't sit slow, cause here we go with a super show. A written go session. I thought I read a gold obsession. With some well-controlled expressions. Let's talk about that win that we got. My fool should have been in the spot. That's how they spin in the spot. Just all that back, all that crack, all that straight fumble sack. Or just dial it on up if you wanna talk smack. It don't matter what the storyline, as long as the story aligns with a 49er mind.
49er mind.
It's not just a thought process,
49er mind,
but a way of life. For sure.
49er mind.
Way of life.
49er mind.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Welcome to another edition of Ballin' with Bash and Ted on the 49er Minded channel, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. How's it going, Ted? How you doing?
Good. Happy Faithful Friday, Bash. Happy bye week Friday. Sad that there's no Niners football this weekend, but I guess kind of happy in a way too, because it seemed like maybe the perfect time to turn things around and get our act together and not lose 4 straight. That would have sucked.
And the key word is happy. You're throwing happy in there because there's a lot of 49er fans right now who aren't happy. And we're going to get to that in a minute. Why? And I'm sure a lot of people already know, but let me see what's up to some people who've gotten comfortable in chat. We got Wired Up 49ers. What's up? Good friend of mine over in the Pacific Northwest. Red Jet Shells here. She says, let's go Niners. We got a new person. I don't recognize this person, but hey, welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. We're actually running this on 2 channels, on TED Talks Balls channel and my channel as well. So if you're not familiar with TED Talks Balls channel, you can click the description box of this video. You can give it a like and subscribe as well. And Regit says she's toggling between both channels, and we appreciate you. Not everybody has the capability to do that. I get it. But if you're on a laptop, you can mute the other tab and stream it on both and do whatever you want. But yeah, how's your week going, Ted?
My week's going pretty well. Had some good shows this week. Real good show with Aaron on Wednesday for First and Ted. I started a new weekly show yesterday with a Cleveland Browns fan, Big Mike from the Man Cave 10. And we're trying to figure out a name for the show. And I came up with a couple, put them into a poll yesterday. One was Cleveland Brox, like a play on that Cleveland Rocks saying or song or whatever. And then also the Mistake by the Bay, because a lot of people call Cleveland the Mistake by the Lake. And so just a little play on that. If you have any good ideas, let me know for what to call our show. But, it's been good. It's been a good week. Got my first full payment from my sponsor this week. So that was good because my first payment was just for the last week of September. This one was for all of October. So that was exciting. And, still working on the YouTube, trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. So if anybody could just subscribe, you don't have to hit the notification or even watch that much. Just the subscriptions really help, because I did hit 5K watch hours for the year, and I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary. So hours are about to start falling off. So give me a pretty good idea of what my first year looked like.
It's a whole lot going on, and man, you hit the monetization before I did. That's weird because you started with you, but then again, you pump out a lot of videos, man. So you're like the Roger Craig of YouTube content creators. So we got Tej Beats. He's here. He says, you guys think Young will resign with the 49ers after this season because of all his talent? I doubt he leaves, and we probably trade Kinlaw or Farrell, let them walk. A little too early to touch that topic yet, but I will say this: I have a feeling that this is assuming Chase does well for us, and I have a strong feeling he will. I have a feeling that they're going to try their best to retain him, and if they have to let others walk who aren't really living up to the standard, they'll probably will do it. Maybe Armstead, who knows? Who knows what they do? But it's looking way too far ahead. I'll be honest with you, but I'm totally glad that we acquired him, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, so
I could see him taking. All right, so the thing about Kinlaw is going to walk at the end of the year because we didn't exercise his 5th-year option. So unless he decides he wants to stay and we decide we want to make him an offer, I think Kinlaw is probably gone. You can't really trade him. And then Cleveland Farrell, we got off the street. I don't think he has a lot of trade value. And I don't even know how much trade value Eric Armstead has, but he has a lot of cap value. And that cap money could go to pay Chase Young if we got someone else to play defensive tackle for us.
And your idea got some attention because I was wearing this, and you're like, he was wearing a different visor before we went live, guys. So he says matching hat, so he's got a visor actually, but yeah, we are matching.
No, I tried to, guys. I was I had on my Niner Faithful visor, which is also black, but because I wanted to show to Bash, because I saw another one that was similar, a Bang Bang Niner Gang visor that I might have to pick up. And then I noticed he had this one on, and I'm like, this one's a closer match, so why not try to match a little bit more closely?
Yeah. The Panama Queen's here. She says, "What's up, Bash and Ted? Good to see you." Of course, Steve-O's here, and yeah, if you guys, whoever drops in, I'll just say what's up to them. I always like to shout everybody out, and we always like to read comments and questions. Sentinel's up in here. He says, "President of Football Operations, John Lynch." Question mark. I like it. Yeah, I don't know where Steve-O brought that up. I'm not sure what the point of that is.
Yeah, John Lynch got promoted as part of the extension.
Okay. They finally announced it.
Yeah, he's been promoted to president, and he's still GM as well, but it sort of leaves the door open to promote Adam Peters, hopefully, to be GM in the next year or two.
Okay. So yeah, I barely touched anything on Twitter today, so that's good. Good that you guys brought that up, you and Steve-O, because yeah. So they never announced.
You seem like you're not all toxified. It must be from staying away from Twitter.
Well, I told you I took that pain medicine and that cough medicine and was really strong. So there were a lot of things I stayed away from. We got Crazy Juice. He's here. Says, "What's up, Bashar and Ted? Good to have you, bro. Appreciate you." Yeah, that's really interesting. I wish I could. I wish I knew about that going into the show, though. I wish I had that in my back pocket. I feel like I'm way behind the curve now that they announced something about John Lynch. But hey, man, shout out to John Lynch, though. A lot of people, going to the season, there's a lot of people who are supporting Trey Lance. I get that. Certain Niner fans in general, just, they have their ways where they complain about Kyle Shanahan or John Lynch or Lynch and Shanahan. Those guys, we always get close, but we never get it done, and we never do this. And when other teams are making moves, we're not making moves, blah, blah, blah. There's always a complaint. I can go down the line, but hey, we made I think we made the biggest move of all the trades that went down, in my opinion, especially for what we gave up to get the guy, to get Chase Young. I mean, she's like a third rounder. First of all, third rounders in the eyes of 49er fans are garbage, because we never do anything with that third round pick ever. So we might as well trade that pick for a decent player, let alone this guy was the second player overall in the draft. And when he did play us a few years ago, he killed us, and he just got incredible potential, incredible ability. As a former teammate of Bosa, they're friends, and I love the move. I know some people are still skeptical and mad that we lost 3 in a row, and I get it, and they don't want to celebrate the move because we lost 3 in a row. I'd say get that out of your head. I know things aren't looking good as they did in the previous games, though, but this is a great move, and if you're not happy about it, you're going to be happy about it once the games are being played.
No doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm my title for the show is 49ers fleece Commanders on Chase Young trade. I feel like we got a great deal. Even if he walks, we should get a comp third back for him anyway. In the fact that we're only paying him under $600K salary for the 2023 season, and we have no financial commitments beyond the 2023 season. It's a lot like the Randy Gregory trade. It's just that it's a little more draft capital, but the two together, I think, are like 1.4 mil combined or less. So great deal and tons of upside. 5 sacks already for Chase Young. He should be a little bit better against the run than some of our edges have been. There's a lot to like. And it should light a fire, hopefully, under Bosa's butt to get him going, and should take some attention away from Bosa too, as you can't chip both edges very easily. That's for sure.
No, you definitely can't. You got to pick one or the other. We got Jimmy Perez here. He says, "What's up, Ted and Bashar? Good to have you, bro." Jess from East Coast Red and Gold Podcast. She says, "Hey guys, trade for Chase Young was what a great trade. I totally agree. I 100% agree. See what else I missed in the chat. Yeah, so I mean, not only the sacks with Chase Young, he's like 5th in the league, I believe, in pressures. You know, Emmanuel Acho pulled up that clip. He was excited about how the 49ers got this guy and how he wins his one-on-one matchups. And that's great. You know, I can't just, I have no words to say how excited I am about this acquisition. I really do. I wanted, Aaron always talks about it before 49ers first takes. He wanted Yannick Ngakoue, and we always wanted, like, ever since D Ford left, right? We always wanted the premier pass rusher opposite of Bosa. And I feel like we finally got that guy, even though the numbers may not have been there in previous seasons. There were some injury concerns and all that. I understand, but I really think we may have knocked it out of the park with this one. Like you said, what we gave up for him was his genius. And if he walks away and for whatever reason things don't pan out, hey, we still get a 3rd round pick once he signs with somebody else. So it's a win-win situation, in my opinion. And Panama Queen, she says, I wonder if Peters moves to GM. Sounds like they're probably looking to do that, huh? I don't know.
I think so. I think that's likely. We'll see. We've been talking about that for a long time as sort of a natural progression, especially with Parag Marate being more involved with Leeds United and probably needing to move overseas or at least be over there for some large portions of the year. It made sense to promote John Lynch to president. And then before too long, you got to make Adam Peters GM or some other team will before too long. So let's do that pretty quickly here, folks. That'd be nice.
Yeah. I just hope that Adam Peters can do well. John Lynch is doing on the phone lately because he's been working some good deals. So, and then you mentioned the Randy Gregory deal earlier. That was, we pretty much got like 2. We definitely bolstered our pass rush with 2 guys, and we barely gave up anything to get those guys, basically. So and we're barely paying them too, which is pretty cool. We got Platform 246 is here. Lawrence, what's up? Says farm that like button. I saw him having fun with Jimmy G sucking and Randy McDaniels getting cut, and it's fired from the Raiders or whatever. He was posting some memes about that, and
he also was making fun of when he said farm that like button. He's making fun of Brock being out on the combine harvester at his in-laws farm plowing the wheat or whatever. I think it was wheat.
I saw that video. I didn't know what was the though. I didn't know he had anything to do with any lifestyle like that though.
I think it's his potential new bride. Her family might be into farming, and so I think that's where that came from. It's interesting. I don't know if you saw Sentinel's comment. He said, "I'm chalking that 0-3 streak up to a couple people jinxing our team." I'm curious to know who you're talking about, Sentinel. I just saw a clip. I didn't get to watch it yet, but with Rob Stats Guerrera and Ball Blastum, which is Michelle. I'm blanking on her last name. She has a complicated last name, but she's a Steelers fan who goes on with Rob Stats Guerrera a lot. And she said that she had jinxed the 49ers. I know a lot of people have said that I jinxed the 49ers or Brock by jumping on the bandwagon after the Cowboys game. And then we've gone on this 0-3 losing streak since. And when people say that, I'm just like, oh, feel my power, because I mean, it's so ridiculous that could be the case. But I love that people pay that close attention to my takes, that they're actually thinking that I'm the one who caused it. And to be honest, I'm getting back towards mid for Brock Purdy. He was 14-18 in the off season. After the Giants, I upgraded him to 11-15. After the Cards, upgraded to 8-12. After the Cowboys, upgraded him to 6-9. After the Browns, downgraded him back to 8-12. After the Vikings, I would have downgraded him back to 11-15. But there was the concussion thing where he had the concussion and he threw the interceptions after the concussion. So I'm like, I can't hold that against him. And so I left him at 8-12. And then after the Bengals, I had to move him back to 11-15. But if he plays poorly again, I'll have to put him back to 14-18, which is, I'm going to say middle of the pack average. I'll try not to say mid or mediocre, which have those more negative connotations. I'm not trying to be negative about it. I'm just trying to give an honest assessment of where I think he stacks up against veteran QBs here in the NFL. So,
the stock for Brock Purdy, when it comes to your meter rises. It's like this during the show, and maybe at the end of the show, it may be down, and maybe up. You know what I mean? It's like you never know.
Because he doesn't have that much body of work. There's just like, and he's been volatile this season, right? I mean, he was good the first few games, but they were like, you could say, the Steelers didn't show up week 1. They clearly, you can see they're playing a lot better ball now. The Rams, their defense is Aaron Donald, and who else, right? Who can you even name on that defense besides Aaron Donald? And the Giants are terrible. The Cards are terrible. So then you got the Cowboys, and we whooped them, and that's when and me and a lot of people were sort of like, wow, this is amazing. And I said he's a franchise QB. I'm afraid I have to back off that a little bit, just because I feel like Brock Purdy's a little bit of a fair weather QB. I don't trust him with a wet football anymore. And now it's become pretty clear, if he has to press and he's shorthanded, that he's not like Joe Cool, where he's got that clutch gene. We just aren't seeing that just yet. We saw a little bit last year against the Raiders, but this season, not so much. So, and he's young, and that can all come. I'm not worried particularly about it. That's why, I was slow to sort of crown him. That's why I'm slow to sort of knock him off the pedestal too. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think there's a lot of things going on, a lot of pressure, especially when Trent Williams has been out, and Debo is huge, and it's not just their skill, but it's their toughness. Like, those are the 2 toughest guys on offense. They're the 2 sort of enforcers, just like Dre Greenlaw is our enforcer on defense. And Jimmy Ward used to be one. I think we're missing Jimmy. I think we're missing Azeez Al-Shire. We saw him play really well last night. Emmanuel Mosley. Ebukam was really good against the run. So there's a lot of things going on with the 49ers, but none of it that I think is terribly concerning at this point.
Okay, so we got Corey. Corey's been on the show before. He says, "What's going on, Bastion's Head? Hope you guys have a good week." Yeah, good to hear from you, Corey. It's been a while, man. I know I'm going to try to get you back on sometime this season. Now, this is where I stand with Brock. I don't think Brock's gotten worse. I really don't. I mean, I know you have your little ranking system where he goes up and down, and I get that. But I just think that these are, since he is this young quarterback who's, playing in a whole new series of games in a league that he's never played in before, every now and then he's going to encounter things he's never seen before in situations he's never seen before. And therefore he may not always react. I mean, for a long period of time, he was almost perfect with everything he was doing. If you looked at his quarterback rating, looked at his accuracy, not that he was the best quarterback in the league or anything like that, but there were a lot of things that he was doing that was great. I mean, that he stepped right in and looked like a veteran when it came to so many nuances of the NFL game. And that's the whole reason why, Trey Lance was traded, and they weren't really willing to. Sorry, they weren't willing to sit there and develop him when they felt like they already have somebody who was already developed when it came to the nuances of playing an NFL quarterback. But then again, he experienced these rough situations in these games. Now, the Cleveland game, we should have won. We should have hit that field goal. Yep. The Minnesota game, freaking Cousins and their offense was on the field for freaking ever, though. That's the problem. So Purdy never played in a situation necessarily where the team was, where the defense could never get off the damn field, and and I think like Cousins was inspired in that game when we played the Vikings, because everybody ties Cousins to Kyle Shanahan. Oh, Kyle Shanahan's always wanted Cousins. He's in love with Kirk Cousins, and I felt like Kirk Cousins was like really hyped up to play that game. Let alone he plays one of the better games of his life. He played his best Monday night game, right? And they always said he sucked on Monday night. And lo and behold, we had to suffer from it. It's like this jinx that goes on. You were talking about some jinx earlier, and I'm going to mention the jinx with the Niner player as well. And so it's like, so Brock never faced that situation where a quarterback totally just balled out against us, right? And our defense wasn't being the 49er defense, and therefore, like his offense was barely on the field. So that was a Minnesota game, and then with the Joe Burrow Bengals game, I mean, there were still a lot of catch me up moments, in these recent games. I mean, we usually stop in the run. We're not stopping the run. And I just feel like these are new scenarios that Brock hasn't encountered. And it sucks that he didn't have Debo. It sucks that he didn't have Trent Williams. And it sucks that the running game wasn't consistent. You just get a few flash plays from Christian McCaffrey from CMC and nothing else. Other than those flash plays, where's the consistency in the run game? We're so pass happy. Like I told you, we're facing these different situations that Purdy never faced before. But then again, we're extremely pass happy, and everything's falling on his shoulders. And he's used to Debo, and he's used to Trent Williams out there. Like, why not make it easy and be more and diversify the run game? everybody keeps talking about Jordan Mason and Mitchell, and do something, like get the run game going. If they're figuring out how to stop CMC in certain situations, figure something else out. Kyle is a genius supposedly when it comes to running the ball, and all these things could have helped, Purdy, helped him overcome those situations that he never ran into before. Lo and behold, sure. I mean, he started throwing some picks, and the one pick that was just really, it was just silly. The one to Jermaine Pratt. I had a little funny nuance to add to that because I was watching Larry Krueger. He was on with Jesse Naylor Last Second Sports and Vish. And Larry Krueger was saying when he was in the he was sitting down in the booth or whatever with one of those colleagues watching the game at Levi Stadium, and he mentioned something about Jermaine Pratt right before that play, where Vish told Larry Krueger to keep your eye on number 57, Jermaine Pratt. This guy's really good, and let alone Jermaine Pratt gets hurt, right? And then, but he ends up getting up, and the next play is when Jermaine Pratt and then Larry Krueger told the guy like next to him, "Oh wait, watch out for this guy, Jermaine Pratt. Vish always talks about him." And lo and behold, the next play, Jermaine Pratt gets the interception off of Purdy. So it's kind of like a jinx, But it was a silly play when I saw it happen too. I mean, like I was like, why are they running two running backs? Why are they running the same route in the same area? So of course something stupid is going to happen in that play. And then Burford went downfield, and supposedly it was supposed to be a run play, and somebody messed up the handoff. Did Purdy mess up the handoff, or did Mitchell mess up the handoff? I don't know, but we easily could have got a touch. My point is, we easily could have got a touchdown right then and there. But like all the and on top of the adversity, it's like all these penalties are killing drives. I mean, I could go on and on and on about things that we haven't seen in other games. And now all of a sudden, everything just comes piling down on Purdy's shoulders because all these other things are happening that we're not used to seeing happening in these Niner games. So, but at the end of the day, I don't sit there and watch Purdy the same way I watch Jimmy, where I'm nervous and he looks like he's nervous, or I still see him very aware in the pocket. I still see him scrambling, looking pretty good, getting away from pass rushers, and he's running down the field to get first downs, and he's still completing the ball downfield much better than I thought he would. He's doing it better than he did last year, actually with more consistency, in my opinion. So I do see a lot of positives with Purdy. So he hasn't necessarily fallen out of favor with me like he has with many other people.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't fallen out of favor with me. I still think he's going to be a very good QB. I just, have some limitations, and that's fine. Yeah, there was a lot that went wrong, especially, Burrow, going 28 for 32. He was nearly perfect. He really showed what an elite quarterback looks like.
And we kept letting him run. We kept letting him run so damn much.
He ran it really well. He was hard to bring down. He played bigger than his 225 pounds or whatever he weighs in at. He seemed almost more like Josh Allen out there, running through tackles and just running with no fear of being hit or taken out. So yeah, our defense was soft. The run game wasn't there. The run defense wasn't there. It was bad all the way around. But again, I do feel like Steve Wilkes made some adjustments in the second half. We started to get some sacks. We got some stops. But you mentioned the Pratt interception, and then Purdy turned around and threw an interception to Logan.
Yeah,
Wilson.
the one where he tried to throw to Ayuk, that was a bad one. Yeah. And I didn't like it how the route Jennings was 5 yards ahead of Ayuk or something like that.
Yeah,
it was basically the same route, but they're like he was ahead of him. I forgot what they call that play, but
yeah,
I just don't like
people in the same area.
Yeah, I don't like it how they're in the same area. I didn't like the play design.
And people were saying, "Oh, Purdy didn't see Logan Wilson." I'm like, no, that's not what happened, man. He threw it behind Ayuk or whoever the target was, Jennings, whoever it was, and Logan Wilson was there. But it's not like Purdy threw it, direct. Purdy wasn't trying to throw it there. That's the whole point of the thing. In thinking that the linebacker wasn't there, he was trying to throw it several yards ahead, and the ball was just kind of weak and behind, and that's why there was the interception. And then obviously there was the play where there was the third interception that got called back on a penalty. And then the next thing you know, Trey Hendrickson comes around the left edge of the O-line where Trent Williams might have been. If
he sacked him. Yeah,
and sacked him with the fumble.
Mm-hmm.
So sort of like back-to-back turnovers, even though one didn't count. And the interesting thing was that Trey Hendrickson had gone out of the game earlier in the game, and
Yeah,
when he
was
walked
hurt.
out, I was watching him walk. I'm like, he looks like he'll be back in this game, and sure enough, he was.
Yeah,
Hated to be right on that one for sure.
it's like every, when we faced TJ Watt in week 1, people are like, "Oh well, don't worry about McKivitz." I mean, because we're not going to be facing any other pass rushers other than TJ Watt. But it's like now I know it's on a different side, but I'm just saying in general in terms of facing good pass rushers, the league hasn't been kind to us because we've been facing like top dog pass rushers week in
Myles
and week
Garrett,
out. Yeah, Myles
Danielle
Garrett,
Hunter.
Josh Allen on the Jags coming up. I mean, he's
Josh
got
Allen is
he's
no
got tons of
joke.
pressures. He's like second in the league in sacks. So it's
Yeah.
kind of funny because when Josh Allen was coming out, and the same year Bosa came out, I was just telling people like, hey, if we don't get Bosa, maybe we should get Josh Allen because Bosa's probably going to be gone when we pick. I had no idea we were going to be able to get Bosa at all, guys. I didn't think we'd be at the second pick in the draft.
And then with the Bucks, the next week back at Levi's, you got Shaq Barrett, who
Oh yeah,
he's still a pretty decent end, and Joe Tryanka, something like that.
on what team is he
Younger
on?
guy that allowed them to let JPP go.
Wait, who's that last guy you mentioned? Troy what?
Joe Tryanka or something like that.
Okay, I gotta look that guy up. We got Steve-O's Customs in the building. He's not Steve-O, he's Steve-O's Customs. They're two different people, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
Let's
Steve-O's
go.
Custom does the custom sneaks.
There you go. Yeah, I used to always think they're the same people, but they're not.
There's Steve-O Smith.
Just
There you
figure
go.
that out. We got David Corona from Crown Town from Corona says, "What's up? 49ers all day, every day." And I don't think I missed out. Brian Culp is here. What's up, Brian
All
Culp?
right.
Positive Purdy Friday. You know what? I'll tell you this. What I like about Purdy, his confidence is elite.
Yeah.
So they say like like you said, mental giant or whatever. Though his awareness is really, really nice in the pocket. His scrambling ability in the pocket. He's got really, really quick feet. And he's not that bad of a runner. He's not the fastest guy on planet Earth, but he can definitely run by defenders. There were points of times where I saw him run by guys. I was like, oh, he's about to get sacked. He's about to get hit right here. Oh, damn, he just outran that linebacker. There was one play where he looked like Russell Wilson in that game, the old school Russell Wilson, where he scrambled to the right and he looked like he was about to get hit, and out of nowhere he threw it to the middle of the field to Kittle, and Kittle caught it like near the goal line.
Yeah, he did
dangerous.
back-to-back throws like that, where you're like, no, don't throw back.
Yeah.
And
Then
then
he hit the second one. The second one was a McCaffrey touchdown.
Yeah.
So he does. Purdy does some really, really nice things. I don't want him to act like he's Russell Wilson each and every game, but he has nice abilities in terms of getting away for people and stuff like that. So he doesn't have the elite arm, but he has a lot of other things that I like. But the one thing I like about him mentally is that he takes responsibility in the press conferences, and I could tell that he means it because he's a very team first guy. Whenever he talks about the team, he just talks about the team. How much he never makes it about him, and I have a reassurance within myself, and I think a lot of other people see this in Purdy, that Purdy will work harder to fix to the best of his abilities to try to fix those mistakes and try not to make them a habit. So yeah, he's hitting. He hit a bad stretch of games. I get it. Happens. And we all saw Peyton Manning his rookie year, right? I mean, I'm not going to say he's as good as Peyton Manning. I'd never say that. But, I mean, Peyton Manning had one of the terrible rookie season, over 20 interceptions. So just say this guy's going to work on his craft and try to get better, do his best to get better. So I'm not going to worry about him too much. And a lot of people are worried about the defense. We can talk about the defense in a minute. Let me just say what's up to Niner King Podcast. Dion says, what's up, Bash and Ted? He was on my Tuesday show. Bring the Heat podcast. He has a different point of view from where I'm at with the team, but it's okay. Everybody's different, and we always welcome different opinions and all that. So it just makes things more entertaining at the same time too. But I love Dion's. Dion and I have a lot of things in common in terms of we both do voice impersonations. I don't really do them on the show that much. I haven't done a voice in so long, but I can imitate certain people, and he can imitate certain people. He does these little funny comedy videos on his Instagram as well. So check him out.
Hey, you did a pretty good Aaron backstage.
I did. I can kind of try to mimic Aaron a little bit, but what did he say? He said, y'all see Jimmy Podcast asking for a release? No way. It's news to me. Talking about Jimmy G. Y'all see Jimmy Podcast asking for a release. LOL. If I was a Steeler, or if I was the Raiders, I keep him purposely for Robin. That's a funny way of you putting it there, Dion.
That's
that thing surprises me
at his finest.
Well, Don Yee, that guy's a stickler as an agent, but nothing surprises me with the Raiders at all. None of their moves. And speaking of the devil, he is here. Hello, my big belly breath.
What are you talking about? I'm skinny mini here.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny, man. Man, let's see what Dion says. Let's hope this bye gets us right. Yeah. I'm trying to bring some positivity back into 49er fans. I know there's plenty to be mad about, plenty to be angry about, there's a lot that we didn't expect. I get it. We were riding high off that Dallas Cowboy win. I totally 100% understand that, but I mean, the players, I don't want the players to be negative and say like, damn, we suck or whatever. Like, I want the players to be like, F that, we're going to bounce back and we're going to kick ass from here on out. So Great 1765 is here. He says, Manning rookie season was on a horrible team that depended on a rookie quarterback. Definitely, I agree. Purdy's a second-year quarterback who was here to game manage on a stacked team. Not the same. No, I wasn't comparing the situations. I was just saying that Purdy's hitting adversity with, interceptions and all that, and different quarterbacks.
Defenses were not the same.
So different quarterbacks, young when they're young stage, will have times where they throw interceptions. It just happens. And he says he embraces his dad. Oh man, yeah. Anything you want to add? Go ahead. I all this funny stuff threw me off. So
no, that's fine. I got Randy Daytona in the house saying 28. I don't know what does that mean?
Yeah, Randy? What do you mean by 28 there, Randy?
Fill us in. Randy, by the way, predicted the loss to Cleveland, the loss to the Vikings, and the loss to the Bengals. So I'd be curious to know.
So we all should be mad at Randy right now. It's all Randy's fault.
Yeah, it's all Randy's fault. Or some people are blaming Kittle for wearing the F Dallas T-shirt underneath for showing that off after the Cowboys game. Some people think it's.
I felt like during the games, all three times, I just keep thinking in the back of my head, I know the players have to execute. I 100% understand that across the board, but I felt like we were getting out coached a whole lot. I felt like the coaching could have been better. It's especially with guys like Fred Warner and Drake Greenlaw this last game. Like, they did not look like themselves at all. Like, I don't know what the hell defensive play calls and schemes we were doing for his last game, but like, why is everybody so out of place? Whenever somebody catches the ball, like nobody's near the receiver. Like either guys are not in their zones, they're not in their proper zones, or we're not calling the proper zones, or I don't know, man. A lot of that just really pissed me off, man.
Aaron has a good one. He says everyone is to blame. Randy's saying that 28 was the number of Manning interceptions, not 18, but 28 Manning interceptions. That was disastrous. Good team.
I knew it was in the 20s. I just thought it was like 22. I didn't think 28. 20. Damn, that's crazy.
That's a lot. No doubt about it. And that's a 16-game season too, not 17. So I like Aaron's, though. Everyone is to blame because there's a lot of missed tackling going on, and I don't blame that on Steve Wilkes. Let's be honest. The players have to execute too. So I'm not absolving Steve Wilkes, but I'm definitely not in the fire Steve Wilkes camp, at least not yet.
I mean, a lot of people were calling for Steve Wilkes' head, and after the Browns game, and they just said that they wanted him out of the booth early in the season, and while we were on the 5-game win streak. But I was never one to bash on Steve Wilkes. I was like, oh, give him time. He's new. But I'll be honest, once that Bengals game ended, and just because my emotions were running high, I sent out a tweet like, dude, if they fire Steve Wilkes right now, I will not blink an eye. Like, a lot of people were not happy, and they're pretty pissy once that game ended. So I get it where the emotions run high. And some people still want Wilkes out, and some people saying, oh, bring in Richard Sherman, make Richard Sherman the coordinator. And Richard Sherman, it's just a pipe dream because he's not going to walk away from a 3-year, $27 million contract from Amazon Prime. He's just not. If he does, I'd be shocked if he were to drop that job, that cake job, and jump over and try to be our D coordinator. Niner, you love to hate 510. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. He says the NASCAR package. Is that NASCAR? I never watched NASCAR, but I always think it's funny when people talk about NASCAR. But anyways, he says Bosa, Hargrave, Young, and Randy Gregory. I definitely want to check that out. I want to see it, man. It's going to be very interesting to see how many times we get to the quarterback, how many pressures we get. And I know some people are saying like, oh, well, why do we have to get Chase Young? It doesn't matter. We shouldn't have gotten him because all quarterbacks do is release the ball within 2 seconds anyways. Did you hear a lot of people saying that, or do you share that same philosophy?
I don't share that philosophy, no. I think that we just need to play more press man coverage so that our defenders are in a place to make a play on those early balls. But also, if you are throwing the ball really quickly, then you're not probably throwing deep very much, and certainly no double moves or anything like that. So it really limits what the offense can do, and I think that's part of the goal. I think it's a good move to get Chase Young. There's no downside that I see to it, and I'm excited about the trade. I don't think it's going to fix everything that we have going on, but it does look like Womack and Luter are coming back soon. And if we could put Womack on the outside and slide Lenore into nickel and get Isaiah Oliver the F off the field, I think that'll
I was
cure
going to say that.
of our woes. I mean, it was like when I was there on Sunday, I was at the game Sunday, and it was like we were just like, oh, just follow Isaiah Oliver and you'll see where the ball's going to go. Either that, or if it wasn't Isaiah Oliver getting cooked, it was Mooney Ward drawing a flag.
Yeah,
So,
Mooney Ward was just not being himself. I don't know. He needs to, whatever's going on in the bye week, these guys need to see a priest or see a Buddhist monk. What's that?
Burn some sage.
Yeah, there's a whole lot they need to do between then and now. Between now and then,
Sacrifice a virgin. I don't know. Something.
They need to do something. But somebody mentioned in the chat earlier, we were talking about Chase Young, of course, and Bosa's actually staying back during the bye to work with Chase Young and get him acclimated to the 49ers system and help him work on moves and all that. So that's really, really cool. I'm really, really happy Bosa's taking that extra step. And I know Bosa's not the vocal leader that a lot of us kind of want him to be, because he's a mumbler, and you see it in his pressers. He mumbles all the time. He doesn't seem like figures somebody with that much money that he's making and with the accolades that he has had in the past would be more vocal on the field, but he's not. But he is taking an extra step, though, which is really, really nice, to coach other players. And I do appreciate that.
I hope that doesn't mess him up, because there was some thought during his holdout that like part of the reason why he stayed in Florida was to establish his Florida residence to avoid paying California income tax on his, paychecks from the 49ers. And this extra week out here in San Francisco, that could be just enough to tip the scales. Could be very costly for Nick Bosa if all of a sudden he gets, classified as a California resident, because that is probably not down to 1 week, but just an interesting thing that was talked about during the offseason that popped into my head just now. I don't know. We'll see if anybody talks about that.
Well, he already isn't he getting paid like $170 million with Kim Kardashian with that Skims contract or whatever crap?
Yeah, but California income tax is like, I don't know, what is it, 10-15%? And Florida it's 0. So it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about millions of dollars, then that adds up pretty quickly, the difference between Florida. So there's a real incentive for him to stay in Florida at least like 180 days or whatever, that cutoff is of 365. I guess it'd be 185 days roughly. In Florida would classify him as a Florida resident versus a California resident. There's a lot of financial implications for him.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited because I have royalty in the building. In my chat, we have the one and only John Lynch. What's up, John Lynch? Good to see you. Been a long time. Does the Niners use the pick they got from Mayhew going to the Commanders for the trade for Chase Young? If he doesn't re-sign, they get a third comp pick next year. 49ers are playing 4D chess. What's good? I can't do the high pitch like you do it, man. Shout out to Jay in the Bay. He's the king of saying what's good too. I'm really excited that John Lynch is here. It's been a while, so.
Well, it's interesting that we used the pick we got for Martin Mayhew to trade with Martin Mayhew.
I know, that's so weird. That's so weird. Yeah. I thought it was a McGlinchey pick initially. I thought it was a Mike McGlinchey comp pick, but it wasn't. It was the actual one where we lost Martin Mayhew to the Commanders.
Joey Mahoney's here. Mayhew and D'Amico Ryans somehow.
Okay, there you go. Both. Joey Mahoney says, "What's up, Bash and Ted? Brock Purdy, baby. Let's effing go." I thought you'd say something for Chase Young. I know you were a big Chase Young guy when he was coming out of Ohio State. And now you were hyping up Chase Young big time to me when he was on the Commanders. I remember Chase Young going off against us when we played
Joe.
When we played the Commanders. Didn't Chase Young get a touchdown on us when Nick Mullins was a quarterback? I believe we did. I was putting up some highlights. We got let's go catch up with some of the other comments really
yes,
quick.
He did. It was yes, Nick Mullins fumble 6 was a scoop and score for Chase Young. I don't think he got the sack, but he picked up the ball. And it might have been Sweat who came from the other side and knocked it
Yeah.
into Chase Young, and then Chase Young ran down the sideline. Yeah, Nick Mullins, fumble 6 and a pick 6 against the Commanders in 2020. Also
Yeah,
against
Chase
the
Young had
Eagles
himself
in
a game
2020, he
against
had
us.
a pick 6, and a lost fumble too in that game. So 3 turnovers, 1 for 6 points, 2 turnovers for 12 points against the Commanders. A couple of real peach NFC East games by Nick Mullins backing up Jimmy G in 2020.
He did a few good things for us in terms of piling up yards, but he never piled up the wins. We got Silly Fun Guy in the house. Just want to say what's up to you, bro. 49ers First Take said something. He said analysts are saying that Steve Wilkes' play calls have tells that teams can figure out. Oh, I hope that's not the case. And it wasn't it Kyle Shanahan that drawed out the blueprint for our defense, because for Saleh when he first came here, for D'Amico when we got rid of Saleh, and not got rid of him, but when he left. And then I'm pretty sure Shanahan has his handprints all over our defense. So I'm hoping for more consistency or things to be fixed at the same time. Wilkes and Shanahan got to do brainstorm and figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, we got Trent Williams, telegraphing plays by putting his left foot back on pass plays and having it square on run plays to the line of scrimmage. Another way we telegraph our offensive plays is with Dwelly and Warner, because Dwelly can't block and Warner can't catch. So if it's Warner in, we're going to run. I said it on, on Sunday against the Bengals. We brought in Charlie Warner. I'm like, look, it's a run play. Sure enough, we ran it or tried to run it. And same thing with Dwelly. If he comes in, only thing he's good for is his hands, which are incredible, but he's just not a good blocker unless he has a running start. Real quick, though, I wanted to just go back to Silly Fun Guy, though, because he came with the dad joke as usual, but this one's actually pretty funny.
I didn't understand what he was talking about. That's why I didn't read it.
He said, I went to the doctor recently. He said, don't eat anything fatty. I said, what? Like bacon and burgers? He said, no, fatty, don't eat anything.
I get it. Easy dad jokes coming at you.
I like that one.
I know you do. You're laughing. Sentinel says, what I like about the Chase Young signing the most is he's played against the Eagles with Jalen Hurts. Maybe we'll fit. Yeah. So he played the Eagles twice already this year. So he looked really, really good the first time they played the Eagles. But some people were talking smack on Twitter, is trying to say that some Eagle fans were trying to say that they locked Chase Young down, or Chase Young didn't get a sack against the Eagles the second time around. But I saw some clips of him going around Jordan Mailata, who I think is pretty awesome as a left tackle, on the Eagles. He made him look like a turnstile at times. So hopefully when we play the Eagles, we're gonna have Bosa and Chase Young. Obviously, Hargrave. It's good. The Eagles are gonna have a whole lot of work to do when they face our pass rush. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
No doubt about it. Yeah, huge help. And the Commanders have a good D line, certainly, but Montez Sweat is no Bosa. I would say that they're Daron Payne is a hell of a D tackle. He might be better than Hargrave or Armstead. And who's the other one? The other D tackle. Blanking on his name, but I don't think he's as good as Hargrave, at least for
Daron Payne and Hargrave are kind of equal, I think, in my opinion. They're pretty close. I mean, yeah,
pretty close. I feel like Daron Payne is a little better against the run.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking the same. Although earlier, Hargrave was looking really, really nice against the run in other games. So hopefully he can get back to that. Edgar Scully is here. It says 49er Bros and channel. 49ers will get up surely. Yes, we will too.
Edgar was my first super sticker. So
okay, there you go.
First contributor to TED Talks Ball, Edgar. I'll never forget.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So yeah, anything else you want to cover, man? It looks like we covered a whole lot. I mean, we got the Jags coming up. Go ahead. Yeah, Jags. I mean, they're 6-2, but their records are way better than I anticipated. So
I thought that they're like when the season schedule came out, I circled Cowboys, Bengals, and Eagles as the 3 contenders. But then right after that, I had Jags, Ravens, and Seahawks twice as just one slight tier below. But now the Jags are looking. I saw a ranking that had them number 2 in the NFL. That had them second after it must have been after the Eagles. They had the Eagles 1. They had the Jags 2. They had us at like 3 or 4. I think they're and the Ravens after us, which I thought was a little odd. I think the Ravens are playing really well. But yeah, the Jags are scary. They've got Trevor Lawrence. They've got 3 really good weapons for him. Christian Kirk, who balled out last year and is doing really well this year. They got Calvin Ridley, who they picked up for nothing, one of the hugest pickups maybe ever in the NFL to get a really top wide receiver for nothing. And then they have Etienne at the running back, who's like a real 4-3 running back. And then, like as we mentioned, Josh Allen on their defense, but the rest of their defense is really stout. They have a really good defense. So it's, and we're traveling cross country. It's a 10 a.m. game. A lot of things are going to make it tough on us. Also, we're coming off our bye. Oh, guess what? The Jags are coming off their bye too. So like this will be a 3rd team we've played this season coming off their bye. And guess what? That's not all. There'll be a 4th one as well, which is really crazy considering all teams only get 1 bye. That we would face 4 coming off their buys. It's the schedulers did us no favors when it comes to that, for sure.
Yeah, the scheduling's been really weird in that regard. I don't know how that happened. It's almost like they designed it, and you think it would be coincidence, but it's happening too often to be coincidence. You mentioned Calvin Ridley. Yeah, I remember he was pretty badass on the Falcons. I'm surprised why they gave up on the guy.
What was the gambling? He got suspended for a year for gambling.
That's right. That's right.
And then he was a free agent, and the Jags wooed him. The Jags said, I think a lot of teams stayed away because of the stigma from the gambling. And the Jags were like, we don't care. Like, come on over.
There you go. Come on down. Really Ridley for the season so far has 33 receptions, 451 yards, 13.7 per catch, 2 touchdowns. And he looks to be their 2nd leading receiver in terms of yardage. But Christian Kirk, 520 yards, 3 touchdown receiving. And they even have a tight end, Evan Ingram, 434 yards receiving, no touchdowns. But that's a pretty decent trio right there. Even Etienne out of the backfield isn't too bad. He's got 27 receptions. He's got 583 rushing yards on the season for Travis Etienne, 7 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence, man, he's doing pretty good. I mean, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,935 yards, and 8 starts. So, yeah, we have our work cut out for us. One thing I was hoping that the 49ers would have done, and especially, oh my gosh, pissed me off because we were in Cleveland, right, and then we were in Minnesota, and I just felt like, why did we travel back to Santa Clara? I felt like the 49ers should have just, in my opinion, just stayed somewhere in between those 2 states, right? And just stayed at some practice facility out that way. And then, I don't know, man, these just traveling stuff. Like, and then obviously we're going to Jacksonville. Like, they better get to Jacksonville early to get adjusted to the time and get used to what's going on over there, and not this whole thing where they just fly them over late and just feel nobody feels right and everybody's slow. And like, what didn't Kyle Shanahan say recently? Like in the last game at Levi's, he said like the players look slow and stuff like that when he was watching the film. So
yeah,
I don't know,
slow and tired.
Yeah, it just like I said, like when I mentioned Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner as examples, they did not look like themselves at all, and just everybody else followed suit.
Yeah, I think part of it for Dre is injuries. He's been banged up.
Yeah, it's been banged up Niner gang.
Where's 187 when we need him?
I know. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's mad at me.
I think he went into hiding after Brock Purdy, came back to earth. So.
Well, he kept saying Trey Lance stinks in the comments on somebody's channel, and I just kept. Even though I don't really care. I'm not saying care much. I like Trey Lance as a person, but I don't care to bring up Trey Lance in any conversations. This is probably the first time I said his name in God knows how long, but I just don't like it when somebody keeps saying offensive things about a person and then he has nothing to back it up with. So I don't know. He slandered him, and I told him, like, if you're gonna trash him, come up with things, sound more reasonable when you're talking. Make it more presentable. Just I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he got mad at me for that.
Get him back. Get him.
John Lynch says it's a massive problem on plays when you blitz the goal and when you blitz the goal and the goal is to get the blitzer to the quarterback. That means Bosa Hargrave and all others' goal is not to get to the quarterback, but to open a lane. You know what? I mean, my philosophy when it comes to blitzing, I mean, blitz, like, have 5 guys go after the quarterback. Fine. If you're going to blitz 1 extra guy, maybe 2 extra guys tops. It's that fuckery we saw in the Minnesota Vikings game where where right before the half they blitzed God knows how many people, 8 people it seemed like, and and then Winnie Ward was by himself on the island. He almost got the interception. I get that part, but there was no safety help at all. And we could easily stop that touchdown had there been a safety back there. But yeah, Wilkes, I don't know what's going on in his head. And a lot of people, it's just funny though, because I I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, Wilkes doesn't blitz enough," and then I see a lot of other people saying, "Wilkes blitzes too much," or "Wilkes doesn't run enough zone," and then I see a lot of other people saying, "Oh no, Wilkes runs the zone too much." Like it's almost like nobody has it down for sure what he runs more of than the other. You know, it's kind of funny.
It's true. It's true. It's interesting for sure, and I guess we'll see what happens. I personally am a little concerned, but I do think we'll get back on track. I think having Debo back, I think having Trent Williams back, assuming that Trent Williams is back. I haven't heard any updates, but low ankle sprains are typically like 1 to 2 weeks. This is week 3, and that'll be 4 weeks by the time we play the Jags. I would assume he's got to be back by then. I think that'll help a lot. I think, Purdy, if he still had some cobwebs after the concussion, those should all be gone.
What about Aaron Banks and turf toe? Aaron Banks with 2 games, 3 games with turf toe?
I think they said at least 3 games.
That's crazy, man. I believe John Feliciano, if I'm not mistaken, is going to step in and be the replacement starter. So I know he's a veteran in the league, and he has started before. I believe he was a starter last year with them. I believe with the Giants, if I'm not mistaken. I know he was on the Bills and the Giants, and so hopefully he steps up. I know he's been in fill-in duty, a la Daniel Brunskill. He plays the Brunskill role basically, so that's going to be interesting. And let's see,
he already filled in for us some this season.
Yeah, yes, I've seen him in there. And I'll be honest, even though Trent Williams has been gone, and a lot of people were freaking out about Trent Williams missing games. Jalen Moore has played a lot better at left tackle than I expected. And I'm not saying that he's like balling out or anything like that, but it could have been a lot worse. We could have seen Purdy sacked like 5 times a piece in each game, So I mean, it could have definitely been a lot worse. Is all I'm saying.
No doubt about it. We have a new chat member here.
Oh yeah, I've seen him before. Chris.
Mm-hmm.
We got Chris Osorno's here. What's up, bro? Welcome back. Says Wilkes has me worried. 2 weeks where opposing quarterbacks have career games against his defense. Yeah, I do not like that at all. I hate it when any player has a career game against the Niners, and they're not supposed to. I feel like he has changed the Niners' identity of being a smash-mouth physical team. Our players are missing. He says they're missing tackles for crying out loud. For crying out loud. For crying out loud. I love saying that. Yeah, and it's almost like the teams were like kind of like punking us on an emotional level, or like showing that they're not intimidated by us because they're bringing out the boom box and they're trying to clown us. Like they're not, we're not scared of you guys. Blah 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 blah. We got to change that. We got to fix that. What is up, 49er Bang for life? Good to see you, bro. Says what's the deal? 49er minded. Randy Daytona says our O line will be better. It has to be better. Spencer Burford's got to step up. McKivitz, all these guys, man. John Lynch said he runs, man. Oh, he's talking about Wilkes. Okay, so maybe John Lynch has the answers. Here we go. He is John Lynch, by the way. So he runs man 60% of the time and blitzes at 35% of the time. Previous years, man was only ran 30% of the time and blitzed the fewest in the league, about 10% of the time. Yeah, we got to fix something. We got to get this defense right. I love watching the 49ers play defense. Minus the past 3 games, and it's a lot. It's tons of fun seeing all those guys swarm together and see Hufanga make plays, Gibson make plays, Warren and Greenlaw, all those guys. And we missed a lot of that. You know what really pissed me off about that Bengals game though? I felt like the defense did make a play. They made a huge game-changing play, and then the referees just stepped in there after the commercial. They went to commercial break, and they came back. Oh, we decided that it wasn't a fumble because we ruled it not a catch. Jamar Chase did not make a football move. I don't know. I didn't like that at all. You know what play I'm talking about?
Yeah. I was saying not a catch.
You thought so? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I saw the replay, I was like, he didn't make a football move. It looked, at first I was like, because first Gibson had the ball, and then all of a sudden Lenore had the ball. Like, how did Lenore get the ball from Gibson? What the hell's going on here? And we were like excited, and I saw the replay. I'm like, oh no, that's not a catch. And then they went and they reviewed it, and they said the same thing. So I have to say I was not surprised by that, unfortunately.
Hey, I like this idea actually. This does make sense. From Sentinel Football's channel says, if I'm Kyle, I'm saying you get the boombox after you win a game. LOL. He doesn't want to be a disciplinarian though, but we'll spread the blame around. I don't get that. And Kyle threw Wilkes under the bus big time, man. About that blitz call, the Vikings game, and
Big time.
yeah. And then I think then they asked him about
And I
Wilkes
didn't love
being-
the blitz call, but like, come on, Charvarius Ward should have knocked that ball down or intercepted it, one or the other. But
yeah, it looked like he was going to pick it off again.
Jordan
But
Addison pry it out of his hands and run away with it. That was
we made Jordan
some of
Addison
that
look
at
like a
least on
beast in
Mooney
that game,
Ward.
dude. So here we go. He says, Ray 1765 says the defense held the Bengals to 17 points in the fourth quarter. Purdy threw the game away with that interception inside our own 20. That was a game breaker. Yeah, I mean, I obviously felt like crap when that happened. Looked like we were going to score a touchdown right then and there, and the play call looked weird and funky, and there was supposed to be an exchange for a handoff, and it ended up being a pass play when it wasn't supposed to. Therefore, that's why Burford was downfield when he wasn't supposed to. He thought it was going to be a run, and there's been a lot of sloppy play on our side. I get that. I mean, a lot of it is the penalties too. You know, we're killing a lot of drives on penalties, and we mismanaged the clock right before the half where Purdy had the ball at the 2 or 3 yard line, maybe the 5 yard line, and he aired it out to Kittle and looked like we were moving up the field really, really quick, but we barely had time to do anything. So, you know, it would have been nice if we ran a play for McCaffrey or somebody else towards the sidelines right before the half of that game, and instead we ran a play for McCaffrey, but it was like almost towards the middle of the field. So I mean, of course he's not going to get to the sidelines, and we didn't have any timeouts. You're talking about the interception to the one where he tried to throw to Ayuk, right? That one. I think you mean that one. Yeah, that they're both bad. I mean, yeah. I mean, let's see. Chris Osorno says Shanny deserves some flack as well. Of course, our offense has been stagnant at 17 points a game, even with Debo and Trent missing the Niners still have Purdy, Ayuk, Kittle. Yeah, we got plenty of weapons. This is my complaint. So I mentioned this, you mentioned this on a few podcasts. I mean, Debo goes down right in the Cleveland game, right? And it's almost like Shanahan in the presser made it sound like he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to put other guys in or use other guys because he wasn't used to having them on the field and he wasn't prepared for it. It's like you always have to be prepared to run certain plays or do certain things for players that you may not expect to play in the game, but you know they are going to play in the game because the guy in front of them got hurt, right? Case in point, you know, Debo goes down, and like, why aren't we using Ronnie Bell in any way, shape, or form? I don't know. I don't know what it's like. Shanahan, if you like these players and you draft them, we figured we'd use them during the regular season. Like, no, you want to redshirt them for 2 years and then start using them. Like the NFL doesn't work like that. If you draft the players you like, and if the player in front of them goes down, then you use that player. So, you know, that's my complaint about Ronnie Bell. And I was hoping we'd trade more picks away, honestly. And I know we got a ton of picks coming up in this upcoming draft, but I'm like, if we're the type of team that never plays our rookies, why not just trade about 2 or 3 of these picks and get some more players? You know, why not?
Get a corner. Get a tight end too.
It looked like they were trying to get a corner, just didn't work out. It didn't work out.
For all that.
I was hoping for
a right guard.
I was hoping for another running back. And I know teams aren't willing to trade offensive linemen as much. There's not that much good offensive line in the league, but I was at least hoping for another running back to help out CMC because we don't use Mason and the other guys. Like if you're not using these guys, draft some trade for somebody that you can use that you do have confidence in. That's all.
I'm with you 100%. I wanted to go all in. I'm happy with the deal we got on Chase Young. I just would have liked to see us spend more, but there's a part of me that says the Niners were a little bit gun shy after losing 3 straight, where they're like, we don't want to use up all our picks and go all in a year where they didn't feel like any of the moves could have got us to where we want to be. Like maybe they don't have confidence that we can win it all. Maybe. I don't know. That was a thought I had.
I don't know who this is, Brian Culp. Are you joking with me? You know who this guy, King Henry? Who's that?
Derrick Henry.
Oh, okay. I wanted Derrick Henry too, but doesn't look like it doesn't look like he was out there for trade. Who knows? John Lynch says Purdy has not been the problem. 2 missed field goals, lost the Browns game, a missed field goal, and Wilkes' bad play cost the Vikings game. The Bengals game goes to everyone. Yeah, a lot of bad mistakes, and you know, but we can all agree that Purdy did play better in the win, so we can agree that to that, you know. And, you know, despite the fact that Purdy did put up a whole lot of yards versus the Bengals, but you know, we're playing catch me in football at that. But what impressed me about Purdy's in terms of the last game, though, he made a lot of really nice looking throws down the field, and it sucked because you know went all for nothing. We didn't win at the end of the day. So John Lynch says Bashar, actually says Bash. What makes you think they would use another back Mason is about 5 yards of carry and they don't use. I just thought that if they brought in a guy like Connor, I mean, Derrick Henry's a pipe dream, obviously, but like if they brought in like a veteran type bruising running back, that he'd be a guy that we could use to spell CMC, and it would be a guy that Shanahan would be more confidence in, have more confidence in, so to speak. Maybe that veteran that we'd bring in could pass block better. There's something about Mason's game that's keeping him on the sidelines. I don't know what it is, and Shanahan thinks that.
I think it's blocking and route running would be my guess.
Yeah, I'd love to see Mason out there. Trust me, I love his running ability, and I want to see him out there. But for some dumb reason, we don't see him out there. And I was just hoping he'd bring a veteran that he could trust. Corey Davis says, "What's up, Corey?" Says, "Hello, my 49ers family. Hope you're all having a wonderful Friday. Good to see you." Here we go. I think this is a wrap. What do we got here going? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try to. Randy Daytona typed up a rap.
Dropping bars.
And I think this is set to a Public Enemy type riff, so I'm gonna try my best not to mess this up. I wish I had a beat though. If I had a beat, it'd be so much better, but I'll try not to mess this up. Chase in your face, not a quarter. I'm already messing this up. Chase in your face, not a quarterback. I'm laughing too much being this shit. Up in your face, you're getting chased like a razorback. Make me a plate from Ohio State with a side of hash. Making us great 299s on the warpath. Oh man, well, only if you're talking about Kinlaw, they're not really fearing Kinlaw that much. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, sorry.
He might have had 99 ratings on Madden, maybe.
Oh, that's what he meant. Okay. I thought he meant both Chase Young and Kinlaw are gonna both wear number 99 or something. That's funny. Yeah, my bad for doing it, but I mean, I was reading it on the fly and it was making me laugh, and it's just that was just too funny. I wish I had you on the show for a second so you could read your own raps. And yeah, I had a feeling it was from Public Enemy. I could tell the way you wrote it with that song called "Can't Trust It," whatever. I remember that song.
Good call.
Yeah. And Joey Mahoney says we should make more trades. Well, it's too late now, but yeah, because to keep all our draft picks is stupid because we never play them. I agree, and half of our draft picks go on IR anyways, right?
Niner Joe.
Niner Joe in the building. David McNiner's here. What's up, David McNiner? See, Rick Diaz here says, "Gentlemen, good afternoon. How are you guys doing, my faithful friends?" I'm doing a lot better now on a physical level because before the show started, I wasn't feeling that great. Took some strong cold medicine, and
amazing how doing a show can give you energy.
I always feel better once I do the shows for whatever reason. They just make me. It's just weird.
I forced you to do it. I was like,
yeah, honestly, I was biting my tongue to tell you. I didn't want to piss you off. I was biting my tongue to tell you that I didn't want to do the show today. I'll be honest with you. But I'm glad I overcame that hump. And hopefully the 49ers overcome that hump in the bye. And
unless you're on live support, baby, we're going live.
I know, and I'm getting backlash from certain positive things I'm saying, but I'm telling you, man, I think this negative stuff is temporary. I really do. Yeah. So, Red Jet, it wasn't from Fight the Power what she said she typed. It was from a song called "Can't Trust It." I remember the song very, very well. Yeah, Fight the Power. Yeah, definitely not Fight the Power. We got Dub Club 3-0. What's your favorite Niner quarterback ever? Who's your favorite 49er quarterback ever? Well, obviously Joe Montana is the GOAT, but my favorite in terms of who I kind of relate with more, and I love his running ability, was through the roof. Steve Young. I had the pleasure of meeting him recently, so I got to go with Steve Young. He was kind of more of an underdog too, you could say. There you go. You got the jersey on. And yeah, so looks like we hit the hour mark already. If anybody has any last minute questions, feel free to drop them really, really quick.
James
go ahead.
Jernal
James Jernal is here. Okay, cool. Wow. Been a while since I've seen you. Yeah, I don't know what that question mark is for, but he says, the more I think about this trade, it's more glaring that the issues they failed to address. If Wilkes doesn't come out
and that's a good thing because he says the dogs lick their bollocks, their balls to keep them
that
shiny.
That word always makes me laugh, so I didn't want to say it.
Because I hear people say bollock. When the Brits say bollocks, it's like you're saying balls, like it's bad, but dogs bollocks is like a good thing. It's a funny term where unless we come out looking shiny and well maintained, then it's not a good thing, is what he's saying.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I mean, I've always been a pass rush first type of guy, to be honest with you. If you said if we were going to draft top dog cornerback in the draft, or a top dog generational pass rusher. I'd rather get the generational pass rusher. That's just my philosophy. Other people have different philosophies. Great 1765 says Montana is the real GOAT quarterback. I think he's making the Tom Brady comparison. A lot of people think Tom Brady's the GOAT, and yeah, Montana's undefeated in the Super Bowls. You could say that.
Montana's my GOAT.
You can never take that away from Montana, without a doubt. And Tom Brady grew up watching Montana, so there you go. So if I'm missing any good comments, let's see. What is your opinion on the weakest link on the team? You're only as strong as your weakest link, right?
Yep.
Let's see. It's got to be O-line, I think. It's O-line.
Isaiah Oliver.
Oh, you're picking out one player. I was just thinking more of a position group. Isaiah Oliver, yeah, he's pretty ass at times. So there are some things he does on the football field that I do like.
Great at the line of scrimmage.
But he should be a strong safety. I mean, I don't know why he's playing nickel. I don't get it. Like, we already have them strong safeties. I get that, but I look at the guy. He looks like a strong safety. He does not seem like a nickel corner at all. Not. Yeah. I don't know what Wilkes was thinking to bring him over, but yeah, good one though. You got that one. Yeah, a lot of people are under the assumption that we bring in Womack. We can talk about Womack and Darrell Luter Jr. Larry Krueger was at a lot of the mini camps and OTAs and training camps, and he was just watching him yesterday. He still speaks very highly of Darrell Luter Jr. That was part of the reason why I was really excited to see Darrell Luter.
Womack.
But he was also
Luter hasn't played since OTAs.
No, I'm saying, but when he saw Luter in OTAs, he liked him too, though.
Oh,
he was yesterday. He was still speaking highly of him,
or his rookie mini camp or something like that.
Yeah, he was speaking highly of both of them actually. So, I've always liked Womack too. Some people don't like him all that much, and so hopefully these guys come back and step back on the field, and we see less of Oliver, and those guys will do a better job.
Womack's issue is against the run, so you put them out on boundary, and hopefully they don't run too much around the edge. I think that Isaiah Oliver is such a liability in coverage that I'll take a little bit of a liability against the run for someone who can cover, and put Womack on the boundary and slide Lenore into the nickel.
There you go. And a lot of people thought Womack was our best nickel. I thought so last year too, but then the 49ers fell out of favor with him for whatever reason. They put Lenore in the nickel, and then they ended up moving Lenore to the outside. Yeah. So, hopefully Womack fixes his woes. No pun intended. This guy says West Coast Bay Area, baby. We got Salty. I don't know where Salty Cyclist is here. What's up, bro? Been a while since I've seen you. Says, what are your projections for the Jags game? I don't really have any just yet. It's kind of too early for me, but if you have one, Ted, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Debo said he's all right. I think Trent Williams will be okay. I'll say 49ers. I'm still not going to say over 30. I'm going to say 24 and Jags 21.
I will say this. I think it'll be a close game. Hopefully we come on top. So I'll definitely say that. So what do we got here? Okay, I don't know what that's about. I just want to say I appreciate everybody coming on here on a Friday. It's always good to go on with Ted on here on Ball with Bash and Ted. Anything you got going on your channel as of late? Ted?
Nothing for the weekend. I gotta reach out to it reminds me, I gotta reach out to Pedro. The I Voted for Pedro show will not be at 3:00 on Monday because I have parent teacher conference with my son's teacher, my wife. So I need to reach out to Pedro and reschedule that, but hopefully we'll figure out another time for Monday.
Okay, cool. I actually got to talk to your son on the phone that one time when I called you. And he jumped on the phone and said hi. That was funny.
And then the next thing he does is he's like, "Let me push the red button." He
was trying to hang up the phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he probably didn't like me. Probably got mad at me. I don't blame him.
It had nothing to do with you. It just he likes to hang up, whoever it is. It's nothing personal.
There you go. Brian Kolb says 49ers are 4-2 versus Jacksonville. So let's push that up to 5-2. What's up, Red Eye? I saw you earlier, and I was going to read your earlier comment. Good thing you typed a new comment. He said the poor run defense was noticeable the preseason. Yes, it sure was. And then for the first 5 weeks of the season, for whatever reason, it wasn't a problem. It wasn't an issue. But he said Larry Krueger brought it to Kyle's attention. His response was, "We were number one in run defense last season." What the F? Different roster, different team. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Chase Young is good at stopping the run. Not that Clelin Ferrell was bad at it, but it's good to know that we do have another guy in there that can stop the run. I've always wanted a big, huge, big fat man to jam a run stuff and D tackle in the middle, and that like just a huge 330-pound plus, 340-pound plus dude. Just one guy like that on our roster, stuff to run.
Wilfork type.
We haven't had a guy like that in God knows how many years.
Yep. No, it's I don't understand why, and I think it's about time.
Yeah, I think so too. Randy says red defense is dookie pie. He says bluff blitz is stupid when you know the blitz isn't coming. Base Steve Wilkes. Yeah, there's certain things that you can tell when you're watching the game and you know that they don't have anybody fooled, and it sucks. And then we pay the price for it, don't we? Randy Daytona says Oliver is a great tackler and forces turnovers. Yeah, he has a certain tough aspect to him in the game of football. There's certain things he can do, but covering is not one of them. That's for sure.
Especially not fast slot receivers.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to be live tonight at 7 p.m. With me and Raj from RSF 49ers. Nice. Check us out. So, and next week, I believe, if we're assuming we do the show, it should be on Mariah's channel, maybe, or either Raj or on Ryan's channel. No Border Sports is going to be bringing the Heat podcast 2:00, and so yeah, that's 6:00 on Tuesdays. That is. So definitely check that out. I don't have anything else planned just yet. Oh, I'm going to go on with Ryan Hensley. I believe it's going to be either next Friday or next Thursday. So when I do have that, I'll put it up on my community tab on YouTube and let you guys know. Have them on my channel, and I'll put it up on my Twitter as well. If you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at 49er Minded on Twitter. Very easy to find me. You can find me on Instagram. There's a 49er Minded Facebook group. If you ever need to contact me, have any questions, feel free. So we can always chop it up, talk about the Niners or whatever. And Chris O'Sorter, before we go, says something about Vic Fangio. Says Vic Fangio is a proven DC for the booth man. I wonder why the Niners didn't get a proven guy. Yeah, the only thing about Fangio is that I didn't like the fact that he would have changed this to a 3-4, but his track record does speak for itself. I get that. Randy Daytona says Greenlaw is hurt. Yeah, hopefully he gets better after this bye week, man. We're getting pretty banged up. Like I was saying earlier, banged up.
Seeing him get trucked in the Bengals game was very unusual.
I forgot about that play, and I don't want to go back and watch it because it's going to ruin my image of what I think of how I perceive Greenlaw. So
he's just not. He's just not.
Did he get trucked by Joe Burrow?
I forget. I think it was Mixon.
Oh, okay.
But I forgot. I honestly forgot who it was. But
Mixon went out of his way to showboat on that one touchdown too.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was doing the Ayuk dance.
Yeah,
that was when we got up and left the game.
Oh, that was when you got up.
Yeah, they went up by 14. We're like, this thing.
Yeah, if I got that touchdown, I would have been dancing too, though. All right, guys. So thank you, Ted, for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for watching Ball with Bash and Ted on the 49er Minded channel, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. Keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. Let's go. Go Peace. Niners. Peace.
Go Niners.
Come on, 49er fans, let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick done quick.
49er mind.
Yeah. Yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.